calculations, ending days of suspense. It's going to be a two-phase election, the announcement marking the formal countdown to what is likely to be one of the most keenly watched and contested state polls. So why does Bihar matter so much? For one, the state is a political bellwether of sorts, at least as far as North is concerned. The results here can ripple across the national narratives. What makes the contest even more striking are the controversies that have dominated the political discourse, the vote chori charge and campaign by the Congress, and the much debated SIR exercise for one. Then there is the women's factor, who can play the kingmakers as far as result is concerned, particularly where the seats have slim margins. And Bihar results very well may tell us where the popularity of the big names in Indian politics currently lies. For NDA, it's important to retain this key states, this large state, to stay strong in its national objective. While for the Mahagathbandhan, the Congress and the RJD and others, it's important to win simply if they have to have any hope nationally going forwards towards 2029. So here's the question that's looming over this Bihar. Who has the edge, the NDA or the Mahagathbandhan? Or could the third factor of Prashant Kishore's Jan Swaraj complicate calculations for both sides? We'll take that up and more with our guest joining us in just a bit. But first up, here's what happened earlier today. The elections have been announced and they will be taking place in two phases. The voting on 121 of the first set of seats will be held on November 6th in the first phase. The second phase will witness voting on the remaining 122 seats that will be going to polls on November 11. And D-Day or Verdict Day is November 14, which is a Friday. The election is set to witness 14.01 lakh first-time voters, and there would be 100% webcasting this time around, up 100% from 50% last time. 90,000 plus polling stations to be set across the state, and of them, over 1,000 will be managed only by women. 4.53 lakh polling personnel will be deployed for the elections. Now, as I said, a key determining factor this election is bound to be what does the public feel over this special intensive revision that has been done. Will it be still a factor? Let me first tell you the numbers as they have come out post this exercise. So you would remember, as of June 24, 2025, before this exercise began, there were a total of 7.89 crore electors already on the list. Out of these, 65 lakh, those who were deemed to be absent, shifted or deceased, were removed. That in itself led to a lot of hue and cry. Thus, 7.24 crore were finally included in the draft list of August 1, 2024 as the SIR exercise began. And after final additions and deletions, 7.42 crore is the final electoral roll published as of September 30, 2025. As part of this SIR exercise, what we can deduce is this, that 21.53 lakh new eligible voters have been added. Those who have been added either for the first time or who weren't there because they didn't bother in the beginning. As I said, there are 14 lakh new voters or first-time voters. So you can deduce that maybe there were about 7 to 8 lakhs who weren't part of the list but were eligible voters for various reasons or have joined Bihar electorate only now. But 3.66 lakh ineligible voters were removed after the initial deletion of 65 lakhs as well. So the big question that everyone is asking is, who are these 3.66 lakhs? Are these the ones who were found to be quote-unquote illegals? There is no clarity on that. Let's talk about the upcoming elections now. Another determining factor in Bihar is always the women vote. Interestingly, Dalit and upper caste women voted more for the NDA than their male counterparts did. So here's how different women groups have voted last time around in 2020. 38% of women voted for NDA overall, and 37% voted for the Mahagathbandhan, so not much difference. But this is slightly higher than the 36% of men who voted for the NDA. NDA won a whopping 59% of upper caste women votes versus just 12% for the Mahagathbandhan. Majority upper caste men also voted for the NDA, so not much difference within the category itself. Amongst Yadavs, only 5% women voted for the NDA, 82% voted for the Mahagathbandhan. But here is where the major difference is. These are possibly on line of expectations. The major difference happens when you talk about the OBCs, for example. 63% of OBC women voted for the NDA and only 18% for the Mahagathbandhan. But this 68% is greater than the 59% of OBC men who voted for the NDA. 63% women versus 58% men. 33% of Dalit women voted for the NDA, 24% for the Mahagathbandhan, but only 27% men voted. Dalit men voted for the NDA and 31% for Mahagathbandhan. So here, women preferred NDA over the Mahagathbandhan. Lastly, 74% of Muslim women voted for the Mahagathbandhan, only 6% for the NDA. But even this 6% is 1 percentage point higher than the 5% Muslim men who voted for the NDA. And this is why women voters are so important, possibly for both sides, but a little bit more for the NDA. And let me establish that further. Because out of the 125 seats that the NDA won in Bihar Assembly elections 2020, 99 of those came from constituencies that saw higher voting percentage of women than men. That is 80% of their seats. On the other side, Mahagathbandhan won a fewer number of seats, which is 60 in these 166 constituencies that were led by women voters. So RJD won 44 of these, but the alliance overall only won 110 seats in all of these polls. Interestingly, AIMIM, which shocked everyone in the last elections, they won all of their 5 seats from constituencies which recorded a higher turnout by women. With that, let's focus on the elections that are coming up. Only 2 phases this time. That is also important to watch out for. Most parties wanted a shorter election with lesser number of phases. Does that make a difference as far as the voting is concerned? Who has the edge this time around? That debate is coming up.
इन लोगों को बिहार से इतनी नफरत है, इन लोगों ने घोटाले और भ्रष्टाचार करके बिहार की साख को बहुत नुकसान पहुंचाया।
अपना चल रहा है बिहार में भ्रष्टाचार का, मतलब आप कह सकते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल करप्शन जो है पूरी तरीके से चल रहा है।
मुझे कितने ही गालियां दे, मैं तो भगवान शिव का भक्त हूं, सारा जहर निगल देता।
First up, I want to go across to Vijay Kumar Sinha, Deputy Chief Minister of the incumbent government of the NDA, joining us. विजय जी, बहुत सारी पार्टीज का ये कहना था कि इस बार इलेक्शन कम फेजेस में होने चाहिए। पिछली बार 3 फेजेस में हुए थे, अब की बार सिर्फ 2 में हुए हैं। तो आपको क्या लगता है कि इससे क्या बेनिफिट है लोगों को या पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को इससे क्या बेनिफिट है कि सिर्फ 2 फेजेस में इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं?
देखिए, चुनाव आयोग सभी पार्टियों से विमर्श करने के बाद जो निर्णय लिया है बड़ा ही व्यवहारिक निर्णय है, क्योंकि लोक आस्था का महापर्व छठ के बाद लोकतंत्र का महापर्व का अवसर दे रहा है। और ये महापर्व पूरी सकारात्मक ऊर्जा के साथ, पारदर्शिता के साथ बिहार के लोगों के मन मिजाज में पूरी तरह से पॉजिटिव एनर्जी भरेगा और इसका असर भी दिखाई पड़ेगा।
ये अभी तेजस्वी यादव का एक बयान आया है। उन्होंने बोला है कि अब की बार जो जनता है वो परिवर्तन के लिए वोट करेंगी और चेंज के लिए वोट करेंगी, और जो भी उनको चीफ मिनिस्टर जो बनाएंगे वो सब चेंज मेकर्स हो जाएंगे बिहार के।
निश्चित तौर पर तेजस्वी यादव जी नेता प्रतिपक्ष हैं, सोने के चम्मच लेकर जन्म लिए हैं, जंगल राज के युवराज हैं, अनुकंपा की राजनीति करते हैं, चार्टर्ड विमान पर बर्थडे मनाते हैं। बिहार की जनता अब बिहारी को गाली नहीं बनने देगा, बिहारियों को पलायन के लिए विवश होना नहीं पड़ेगा और बिहार बर्बाद नहीं होगा। अब बिहार के विकास की रफ्तार आगे बढ़ेगी, अनुभवी लोगों के हाथ में बिहार सुरक्षित रहेगा, सामाजिक सौहार्द बढ़ेगा।
वो तो कह रहे हैं कि जब महागठबंधन की सरकार बनेगी या वो चीफ मिनिस्टर बनेंगे तो बेरोजगारी बचेगी ही नहीं बिहार में।
वो प्रधानमंत्री भी बना रहे थे, अपने को चीफ मिनिस्टर भी घोषित कर रहे हैं। अब रानी के पेट से राजा पैदा नहीं होगा, ये बाबा भीमराव अंबेडकर का कहना था। ये चाणक्य की धरती है जो भीड़ से चंद्रगुप्त को चुनता है और लोकतंत्र की जननी है। और लोकतंत्र के इस धरती पर लोकतंत्र का ये महापर्व, ये चुनाव देश को नजीर पेश करेगा।
बट विजय जी, आपको नहीं लगता कि आपकी सरकार के खिलाफ, नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में जो सरकार चल रही है उसके खिलाफ एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है? क्योंकि तेजस्वी यादव ने तो पूरा प्रहार उनकी तरफ एक पर्सनल अटैक भी किया है नीतीश कुमार पे कि वो ना दिखते हैं ना कुछ करते हैं, वो बीमार हैं, इस तरह की बातें उन्होंने करी हैं। तो आपको नहीं लगता कि जनता एक यंगर चीफ मिनिस्टर को शायद चुनना चाहेंगी जो दिखे जनता के बीच में?
जिनके करनी कथनी में समरूपता नहीं हो, जो अपने पिता को उम्र के अंतिम दहलीज पर खड़े हैं, एक पांव जेल में एक पांव अस्पताल में, उनको राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनाकर घुमाते रहते हैं, उनके ऊपर दया नहीं करते। और जो बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री प्रगति यात्रा में 38 जिला घूमते हैं, समीक्षा करते हैं, कैबिनेट में मुहर लगा करके फिर उसका शिलान्यास उद्घाटन कराते हैं, वो बीमार हैं। अरे ये दोहरा भाषा, दोहरा चरित्र कैसे हो सकता है? बिहार की जनता देख रही है, जनता मालिक है, वो समय पर निर्णय करेगी। लोकसभा में निर्णय कर दी है, आने वाले दिनों में बिहार के विधानसभा में भी निर्णय करेगी।
आपको क्या लगता है सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा क्या है बिहार में?
बिहारियों का सम्मान, बिहारियों का विकास, हमारा विरासत फिर से गौरवान्वित हो और हर बिहारी सब पर भारी हो, ये मुद्दा बिहारियों के मन के अंदर पूरी तरह से संकल्पित हो रहा है।
जो आप जंगल राज की बात करते हैं, एनडीए में बात करते हैं और आरजेडी कांग्रेस पे इल्जाम लगाए जाते हैं, तो उनका ये कहना है कि अगर आप हाल फिलहाल में देख लें पिछले 1-2 सालों में, तो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की जो सिचुएशन बिहार में रही है तो वो भी कुछ अच्छी नहीं रही है। उसको 20 साल पहले के जंगल राज से कंपेयर करके तो कुछ नहीं होगा ना। आज की तारीख में क्या बिहार में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति अच्छी है?
आपको बता दें कि आज सत्ता संरक्षित अपराध नहीं है, और जो भी अपराधी पकड़ाते हैं उसकी तार आरजेडी से क्यों जुड़ जाते हैं, इस पर वो कोई जवाब नहीं दे पाते हैं। 24 घंटा से 72 घंटा में घटनाएं होती है और एक्शन होता है, रिजल्ट निकलता है, ये बता पाएंगे? बिहार के अंदर आज सत्ता से संरक्षित नरसंहार नहीं, हत्या, अपहरण, लूट, बलात्कार का उद्योग नहीं चलता है। ये बिहार की जनता पूरी तरह से कन्फर्म है, समझती है।
जी, तो विजय जी, आप बिल्कुल संतुष्ट हैं कि एनडीए की सरकार वापस आने वाली है बिहार में?
2010 का रिकॉर्ड टूटेगा। बिहार की जनता कोई माई बाप समीकरण को नहीं स्वीकारेगा। बिहार के विकास और बिहार के सम्मान पर वो अपना बटन दबाएगा।
जी, विजय कुमार सिन्हा जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। फर्स्ट रिएक्शंस नाउ कमिंग इन फ्रॉम ऑल साइड्स। द डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ द incumbent government in Bihar saying they're going to break the records of 2010. Let's also open this up to our other guests joining us. I have with me Lok Sabha MP and spokesperson of the BJP, Aparajita Sarangi, Ishan Tyagi of the Congress, Amitabh Tiwari is election strategist, and Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist, also with us. Amitabh, I want to begin with you. Only 2 phases for Bihar this time. Does that make any material difference on ground, for which way the votes may go? Because sometimes we discuss how many phases and the sequence of the phases quite a bit.
I don't think it makes any material difference, because if there are a higher number of phases, everybody gets that, correct? So if the earlier accusation or allegation is that if there are a higher number of phases, the Prime Minister gets to hold rallies across the state and on more number of seats, that applies also to Rahul Gandhi or any other leader, correct? So it does not give a significant weightage or advantage to any party, I feel, and we are going in for a good direction in that sense, that from 6 phases in 2010, now we'll be holding only 2 phases in Bihar. However, the question mark still remains as to why in Lok Sabha you had 7 phases and what has changed from then to now, where you are holding the election only in 2 phases. Correct. Otherwise, I don't think it gives any advantage to anybody.
Ishan Tyagi, the Congress party also happy with the fact that it's a more concise election this time around?
Well, Shivani, it doesn't matter if the election is happening in 2 phases or 5 phases or 6 phases, because Congress Party and the RJD, I mean our alliance, we're fighting the Bihar election on the issues. We're not fighting elections because you just spoke with Vijay Kumar Sinha. He did not mention, I mean, about his report card in last 20 years, Nitish Kumar's government report card in last 20 years. He did not tell you a single thing about the development which Bihar has got in last 20 years. He did not speak about the education system of Bihar, which has entirely collapsed. He did not speak about the infrastructure of Bihar, which has entirely collapsed. Because the Congress party and the RJD are fighting on the ground issues, we are fighting for we're fighting on the issues which are pertaining to the youth of Bihar, to the women of Bihar. That is why, I mean, on 14th November, it's the birth anniversary of our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as well, will definitely win and form the government. One thing I specifically want to mention from today's press conference is that one of your reporters, I'm sure you must know her, Arunima, specifically asked a question to the Chief Election Commissioner. The gist of her question was that how many people whom the BJP had termed as Ghuspetias, the Rohingyas, the illegal immigrants from Bangladesh were found after the SIR which was imposed on the people of Bihar. The Chief Election Commissioner, Gyanesh Kumar Gupta, specifically dodged to that question. He did not answer to that particular question, and it was asked by many reporters. That gives an answer to why this SIR was illegal, why this SIR was imposed on people of Bihar when Bihar as a state is ruined by the floods. Now, the next important
No, one
thing,
second. Let's go one by one. You know, the opposition raised a hue and cry on the SIR predominantly at the offset because they felt the SIR could not be completed satisfactorily. Would you at least concede that that fear that the Congress and others spread, that this exercise couldn't be completed, that's not fair, that wasn't fair, and now it has been proven to be false. It has been completed satisfactorily. On ground, there aren't any people who are raising any question marks over this SIR exercise.
Well, Shivani, there have been hundreds of reports, media reports by independent journalists of how this SIR was conducted, in the manner in which the forms were filled, the manner in which the BLOs were filling the forms themselves. They were not going to the people, they were signing the forms themselves, how the documents were not submitted on time. So that shows that and it's not just the opposition which has raised the questions. It is the Honorable Supreme Court of India which has raised the questions on the timing of SIR.
Yeah, but they didn't stop it. That was when the first petitions were heard.
Yes, because
no, but we've moved on from there.
The petitioners did not ask for
Ishan, I can't discuss what happened in August, right? We are speaking in October now. What was the contention in August taken to the court and how it was dealt with is irrelevant now. The point is that on ground, there are barely any complaints by individuals who feel that they have missed out and they still have an opportunity to get heard. So all of this hullabaloo over the SIR, can you at least concede that none of this went anywhere? Is this still an issue for you? Ishan, tell me one thing. Is this still an issue for you?
One second. I'll just answer. When the first draft roll was released, how many voters were denied the right to vote? 65 lakh votes were cut. But when the final voter list was released, I think around 3 lakhs or around 3.5 lakh voters were removed from the voter list. That shows, I mean, that does include the people who have passed away. That shows around 62 lakh people, around 62 lakh, 61 lakh people who were not rightfully given a right to vote and they were excluded from the voter list in the first draft. That shows that the 61 lakh people or 62 lakh people who reapplied, who raised complaints about their vote being illegally cut from the voter list, did face the problems.
No,
You
you've
see
got
the
it
other aspect,
completely
right?
wrong.
You see the other aspect.
No, you've got it
you have to
completely
see the
wrong,
other
your
aspect.
math. 1 second, Ishan. Those 65 lakhs have been deleted. Those were deleted on accounts of deaths, relocation and other issues. After that, the draft list was of 7.24 crores and the final list saw an addition of about 20 lakhs, out of which around 21.5 were new voters and 3.66 were further deleted. So this is the number which is key is 3.66. Those were deleted after the SIR exercise
Yes, after
was
the SIR was
conducted.
deleted.
So
Yes, correct.
it's 65
One
lakhs
second.
of earlier and then 3 lakhs later. But let me bring in Aparajita Sarangi on this as well.
You can ask
Aparajita
one question
Sarangi,
to
1 second,
Aparajita.
Ishanji, 1 second.
No, you can
Aparajita
ask one
Sarangi,
question to the BJP spokesman.
is SIR still an issue according to you? Because the opposition certainly seems to be continuing in its, in its campaign that people have missed out. That predominantly Dalit women or those from other communities have been struck off the rolls.
A very good evening. I think all of us must welcome the decisions of the Election Commission as regards the conduct of the poll process in Bihar Assembly elections. Very methodical, very meticulous and strategic move by the Election Commission, and all of us here must commend the efforts of the Commission. Number two, we must congratulate the Commission for having put into place about 17 new initiatives. And of course, the SIR, the special intensive role that was done, registration has been done. I think it is a wonderful exercise, and this is definitely a major reform that has been undertaken by the Election Commission, and we must accept that. See, 24th June, the entire SIR exercise had been started. The Chief Election Commissioner was very candid about it, and thereafter there was a period of claims and objections, acceptance and hearing. So I think that was also over, and thereafter the outcome is for all to see.
But
I think these people are firing gunshots in the air. And let me tell you that we are here to talk about the Bihar elections, whose dates have been announced. 17 reform measures have been put into place. We are talking about the elections. We are not talking about the SIR. I think there has been enough debate about the SIR. The voter database has to be sanitized. I have been returning officer in a couple of districts. I have conducted elections. See, the database of the voters has to be sanitized, I reiterate. And SIR is a major exercise. It has been done very successfully in Bihar, and I'm sure it will be done in other states too.
Ma'am, but the key question that is
Right
on everybody's
now, yes.
mind, and there is no answer from the EC or even the BJP for that matter, is that where are those illegals that were suspected to be on this voter list? That was the main contention, right? Why we needed it on an urgent basis in Bihar.
No, it's extremely important, I'm telling, to sanitize the database. See what happens. There are people who have died, but in whose names the votes are given, the votes are cast. There are people who have migrated, but against their names votes are cast. So I think to prevent these eventualities, I think the voter database needs to be sanitized from time to time. And after 22 years, this particular exercise has been undertaken, and we all need to welcome this. And this is just a start. This will actually be commencing in different states also, and we all need to welcome.
Okay.
See, these people have to find faults with something or the other. And I'm telling you today, on November 14, when the results are out and NDA comes out with flying colors, they will find faults with the EVM working also. I can say with all conviction at my command.
Okay.
So people who know what is coming, who know that they are losing, will actually find faults with the system, with the machinery.
So
but the fact remains that today the EC has talked about election in 2 phases. Imagine, I must mention here, let me put it very candidly. 2010, 6 phases. 2015, 5 phases. 2020, 3 rounds, 3 phases. And The voting percentage was around 56.80% in 2015, 56.46% was the voting percentage in 2020. This time, because it is in two phases, the enthusiasm of voters would be quite high. I am very confident there would be less of financial burden, there would be increased voter participation, and the voting percentage will be high. So I think all of us today need to be very happy, and we should comment the efforts of the Election Commission.
So I just want to take this forward with Rashid Kidwai. This whole issue of SIR, do you think that SIR balloon has burst a little bit for the opposition, and it may have an influence not just in Bihar but in upcoming states as well, because EC is saying they're going to go ahead for a pan-India exercise very, very soon. So do you think opposition to SIR has helped the opposition at all, or this is a dead horse and they should stop flagging it?
I think, Shivani, we must not look at SIR or this kind of exercises from the prism of opposition or ruling party. We are a very vibrant democracy, and we must look at it as a democratic exercise. It is so unfortunate, and it is actually the Election Commission has made itself a laughing stock in front of everybody, the whole world, that either this 48 lakh, in a staggering figure, 48 lakh people had voted in Lok Sabha, either they were in which Aparajita ji was elected. It was wrong then, or it is wrong now. See, the 48 lakh people cannot be Ghuspatias. It would be a very sad reflection on Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah about, so many infiltrators coming in or staying on. It cannot be that in 17 months, 48 lakh people have died in Bihar who are, bona fide voters. So the Election Commission has not covered itself in glory. A lot has been said, Shivani, about this, two-phase and the kind of things that Prajita was saying. Let me remind her, she must be in civil service then. See, in 1980s and earlier time, the elections were held in Lok Sabha, mammoth exercise, a single day when there was no EVM. So we have a very robust, democratic system. If you have a technology and Sushashan, why do you need two phases also for that matter? So these are the things, we just try to glorify, the Election Commission, which has become a pathetic institution. It is an independent arm of government.
But Rashid Kidwai, I understand this. If this is a non-partisan criticism, but you cannot say in 2010, 2015, you were doing 6 and 5 phases. That was okay. Now you're doing 2, but today is a problem.
Shivani, I have a very simple thing. I am saying that why is that 48 lakh people, so to say, illegal people had voted in Lok Sabha?
I said very clearly. Sir, I said very clearly. We don't know if these 48 lakhs voted in Lok Sabha. We know that they were on the voter rolls. There's a distinction. There's a distinction.
How are they being removed? If they've been
Rashid Kidwai, you understand this much better than I do. Being on the voter roll does not necessarily mean that your vote was cast, right?
No. Now you're shifting a goal.
No, I'm not. I'm just looking at this logically and numerically and analytically. My point is, my point is there are two things. One,
if you are there in the electoral roll, so Amitabh is also there. All of us there. If there is a person, that means that person is a bona fide voter.
Yeah, but doesn't mean that person voted.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the act
happened. They have not voted. No. It is assumed that
No, you can't assume. When you have voting percentage of 56%, you can't assume that everybody voted on the voter list.
It's an argument. I mean, I'm just saying, if my name is in the voter list, it's assumed
that.
No,
so the point is this: there were several deceased or those who had moved or who had multiple voter IDs. Those were culled out of the voter list first. There is no way to prove that all of them voted or some of them voted or none of them voted. But they were there on the electoral list. They were culled first. After the SIR exercise, 21 plus lakh new voters were added, out of which 14 lakh today we know are first-time voters. So clearly 7-8 lakhs are those who had maybe not registered earlier or have now moved to Bihar or whatever the cases are, right? But there are 3.66 who have been deemed to be ineligible post this exercise. Why have they been deemed ineligible? That we don't know. And surely I also feel that if we have more clarity on that, it will be great for everybody. Were some of them illegals? Were some of them unable to provide their documents? Were there other issues with some of them? We don't know. So let's not say the exercise was futile. I can't say it was a raging success, but I can't say it was futile either. But I want to quickly now, look into the issue of women voters. But before that, can we just hold our guests? Just stay with me. I want to quickly play out two important reactions. One by Tejasvi Yadav, and Giriraj Singh has also spoken to us. Let's listen to what they're saying on the Bihar elections, and then we'll come back.
जो तारीख जो 14 नवंबर का जो तारीख होगा, यानी बिहार के लोग बदलाव चाहते हैं। बिहार के लोग जो हैं इस बार महागठबंधन की सरकार चाहते हैं। जो 20 साल से इन लोगों ने अपराध, भ्रष्टाचार, अफसरशाही, तानाशाही, घोटालेबाजी, जिस हिसाब से इन लोगों ने बिहार की सरकार ने जो दिया है, बिहार के लोग जो है त्रस्त हो चुके हैं, परेशान हो चुके हैं और मुख्यमंत्री अचेत अवस्था में। और इस बार सब लोग चाह रहे हैं कि महागठबंधन की सरकार बने।
गिरिराज जी, आज चुनाव आयोग ने बड़ा तंज भी कसा कि 22 सालों के बाद बिहार में जो मतदाता सूची है उसका शुद्धिकरण हुआ है, लेकिन राहुल गांधी तो इसी पर आरोप लगा रहे थे वोट चोरी का। तो कितना फर्क इस चुनाव में देखने को मिलेगा?
देखिए, राहुल गांधी और लालू यादव के युवराज, इन दोनों को समझ में नहीं आया। चौबे गए, छब्बे बनने, दुब्बे बन के लौट आए। ये बांग्लादेशी और रोहिंग्या को बचाने के लिए राज्य भर और देश भर में भ्रम फैलाया। 89 लाख मतदाता काटने का इन्होंने भेज दिया और एक भी ऑथेंटिक सुझाव नहीं दिया। ये हिट एंड रन और फिर माफी मांगो, यही है।
अपोजिशन के नेता कह रहे हैं कि जो चिराग पासवान है वो नाराज दिखाई दे रहे हैं और सीटों को लेकर जो अब तक सामने आना चाहिए था वो बंटवारा सामने नहीं आया।
जो राहुल गांधी उसका चिरोड़ी करते रहे, प्रधानमंत्री तक कह दिया, जननायक कहवा दिया, लेकिन उन्होंने मुख्यमंत्री का उम्मीदवार भी नहीं चुन पाया। पहले अपना तो हाल बता दें।
Let me take some final political questions. Amitabh Tiwari, I'm coming to you on this whole women factor. The BJP recently announced this Mukhyamantri Mahila Rojgar Yojana. How much impact do you see of that, and will the opponents be able to counter the positive impact, if any, of that?
It can be a game changer in this election. See, 10,000 rupees is a lot of money in Bihar because the per capita income itself is 6,000, 7,000 rupees. More than 2/3 of households do not even earn 10,000 rupees per month. So it's a big amount in that context. We've seen that similar schemes in MP, Maharashtra and Jharkhand have worked, both for NDA as well as the India bloc. The women have been turning out in larger numbers than men in Bihar, 5 to 6%. On 167 seats, as you are showing also, I think 99 seats were won by the NDA and only 61 by the Mahagठबंधन. And women have been a core vote bloc of Nitish Kumar. However, last time the lead was not much. But one could argue that whatever lead was there was primarily because of the women vote, the 1%, 2% lead overall. So I think they will be playing a crucial role because they are considered as caste neutral. And in a survey in Vote Vibe, when we asked how many people would switch from a Mahagठबंधन or a Jan Suraj to NDA because of this, the number was as high as 5.8%. So that's a high number compared to Bihar, when the contest itself was very close and the vote share difference was only 12,000 votes.
Ishan, how would you counter this? Does this seem like a game changer for the NDA?
Well, absolutely not, Shivani, because the BJP and the NDA itself used to call it, the PM used to call it as rebadi. Now he's giving bribe to people, the bribe to women voters, and of course it sounds like a bribe because Nitish Kumar himself, when he was giving, on to 25 lakh women, when he was giving 10,000 rupees, he said, "Hamara dhyan rakhna chunav mein." That does sound like a bribe, and and it is a bribe. I want to raise one serious question about women voters that it was quoted in 2015. There's some.
Go ahead,
some
I
noise.
can hear you.
Yeah. it was quoted by the government of Bihar that we're banning liquor in 2016 because the women wanted it and it is for the women. Now, let me tell you one thing. In Bihar, it is said that liquor is available on mobile. It is, I mean, you call for it, you WhatsApp it, and you will receive it in your home as a home delivery.
Okay, so has that prohibition policy
the liquor
failed?
mafia, the liquor mafia is running a 50,000 crore business of liquor.
No, your point understood.
Business
I have limited time. Can I ask Aparajita Sarangi to respond to that?
Is Nitish Kumar a leader of mafia, liquor mafia, or women? That is a question.
Okay, Aparajita Sarangi.
Know a 50,000
I have limited time.
liquor industry is running
your point
in Bihar.
taken. Aparajita Sarangi, please.
Yes.
You're bribing women voters, one, after
7.42
first calling
crore.
it ravery,
Yeah.
and prohibition policy has failed.
7.42 crore voters are there in Bihar in this particular poll, and less than 50%, slightly less than 50% are women. And at the same time, I must remind all of you that 50% of the country's population is also women. Women's issues are the core concern of Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA at this juncture. You can see in all the states, women
elections
come in large number to support Prime Minister Modi and his programs. And Mahila Rozgar Yojana, which was started on 29th August by the BJP government, by the NDA government, intends to put in 10,000 rupees in the accounts of every woman. Till date, we have been able to assist 1.21 crore women of Bihar. I think all women are extremely happy about it. I must tell my friends from the other side that empowering the women economically is not a bribe. So please don't say that. If two things are required by women, I am a woman, I know that.
Will they get the next
Number one is
will they get it
dignity.
monthly?
It's very important.
Will they get it in 6 months?
और
Will they get it yearly?
आर्थिक
You have
संभलता
to answer those
मुझे
questions.
लगता है ये सबसे बड़ा
You have to
सबसे
answer
बड़ा
a few
काम औरतों
questions.
के लिए है we have to economically empower women and we have to ensure their dignity.
I have to leave it at that. Now that the Bihar elections have been announced, we will discuss all of these issues in detail. I do thank all of our guests for joining us today on the day when the dates have been announced. Moving on, the final phase of caste census in Karnataka has also entered its final leg, at least if the deadline set by the Congress government is to be believed. But the party leaders don't seem to be on the same page. Chief Minister seems very confident that this caste survey can be conducted well. His deputy has questioned the survey in the latest development. So DK Shivkumar was miffed with the sheer number of questions in the ongoing caste survey, for which he was nominated at his residence as well. Frustrated with the hour-long survey, he asked the enumerators to keep it simple, focus only on essential data. He said there were 60 main questions and 20 sub-questions, which was excessive. The Deputy Chief Minister added that there were too many questions and people, particularly those in cities, will just not have the patience. He further instructed the officials to only focus on caste and educational qualifications rather than whether or not they have received benefits of government schemes. After the state cabinet under Siddaramaiah approved this fresh socio-educational survey in June, the survey began on September 22 with 1.75 enumerators deployed. Ambitiously, the deadline was set for October 7, that's tomorrow. But today, the Karnataka Home Minister said the deadline may be extended as only 80% of the survey has been conducted. The Chief Minister is yet to make a decision on the same. As of now, the Congress government is aiming to release the final report by December this year. So with this caste census Natika that has been going on, is it clear that the Congress is not on the same page? Let's take this with our guests joining us. Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of Karnataka BJP, and Satabhish Sivanna of the Karnataka Congress joining us. Satabhish, I begin with you. Your party leaders have often expressed their reservations as far as this survey is concerned. They are not happy with this exercise or how it is being conducted. Then what is the need that the Chief Minister is kind of plowing through it? Because it seems like nobody is going to trust the data yet again.
No, see, I think all our leaders are on the same page. The ultimate goal is the ultimate goal of the Constitution. That is to build a casteless and a classless society. That is the spirit of the Constitution, and that is what the government endeavors to do. Now the Backward Classes Commission Act is there. We all are aware of what Article 15.4 and 16.4 says. We must empower the socially and economically and educationally backward sections. Now, how do you do that? By implementing policies, by providing welfare schemes, but we can't do this if we don't have the empirical data. Indira Sahani's judgment is clear that without the empirical data, you cannot provide for social welfare schemes. Therefore, the socio-economic survey is mandatory, it is required, it is prescribed under law, and that is what we choose to do.
Okay, but can I just ask you?
At no point did the Deputy Chief Minister or the Chief Minister or any person belonging to the Karnataka Congress government oppose the survey.
Can I just read out some of those statements? 1 second. Karnataka Minister M.B. Patil said that there will be discrepancies between survey and actual situation. Ishwar Khandre, Karnataka Minister, said survey's scientific credibility needs review. MLA Baswaraju Sivaganga survey was conducted a decade ago and therefore quite confusing. He's talking about the previous one, but also that the caste survey findings require reassessment. This was all a fallout of the fact that something like this has already happened in Karnataka, and even your own leaders were unwilling to trust the data. So before this exercise, we were told that this is not just about caste anymore. This is about socio-economic standards, and therefore it seems it has become quite long. And now D.K. Shivkumar is opposing even that this is so excessive and, it has so many questions that nobody is going to have the time and patience to fill this up.
No, see, each officer, each politician can have their own reservations. Every time you take history is a fact that every time a socio-economic education survey is sought to be done, there will be opposition in society, because there are sections of society who don't want the backward to come forward. Now, our government, the cabinet has cleared the proposal. All the MLAs are on board. There are certain stray statements that are made that cannot be considered the decision of the government. And all of them were referring to the old survey, which was kept in cold storage by the Bharatiya Janata Party, by the Janata Dal Secular. Why didn't they act on it? It is only the commitment of the Congress Party, the commitment that we have towards social justice, the commitment that we have to the preamble and the principles enshrined in the Constitution of India, that we want this to go on. Now the process, the exercise is substantive, it is mandatory. There might be certain procedural infirmities, but let the survey go on. If there are any procedural infirmities, it can always be rectified. Now they questioned this in court. What did the court say? The court also gave a go-ahead. There were sections, various fragments of society who are questioning the survey. And let me also tell you, it is not for the Chief Minister or the Deputy Chief Minister to say or prescribe the methodology in which the survey will be conducted. It is for the Backward Class Commission, which is a permanent commission under the statute. It is its prerogative and under its discretion to prescribe a methodology. Now the High Court has given a green signal. We will collect the data. And
Bhaskar Rao is shaking his head. Can I just bring in the BJP perspective on why you are unconvinced of the efforts that the state government is making?
No, I agree with Shivanna to the extent that backward caste people should be supported, empowered, encouraged, and all opportunities should be given to them. To take this particular survey, the government is totally unprepared, and it has already decided what it needs to bring inside the survey. And for your information, this is the 4th survey that is taking place by this very same government. And when you already know that the Census Act...
No, that's factually incorrect.
I interrupt you. Please don't talk in the middle.
No, I must interrupt when you're factually incorrect, sir.
I interrupt you. I never interrupted you.
But it is factually incorrect.
I did not interrupt
you.
Go back on your statement. Please listen to me. Don't talk in the middle. I did not interrupt.
Okay, one by one, please. Yes, go ahead.
So, this entire survey is being done in so much of haste, and it's very clear from their own cabinet colleagues what kind of questions are being asked. You must have seen the 60 questions. Today I was having lunch with a friend of mine on the 7th floor of an apartment, and the surveyor comes there and is asking him how many bulls you are having, how many sheep you are having, and how many animals you are having. Do you have a fan? Do you have a toilet inside your house? These are all very, very peculiar and foolish questions which the survey has come out with. And the surveyors are absolutely unhappy. Everybody is driving them out. And with so much of confusion among the ruling party itself, and the Honorable High Court of Karnataka also has mentioned that survey is optional. So people are totally dissociated with the survey. We all welcome a survey, but the intention of the survey is something else. it is the agenda of the Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah. Why Mr. M.B. Patil has disagreed and Ishwar Khandre has disagreed, and surveyors had come to the house of D.K. Shivakumar, and he himself lost his patience and he told how many questions you want to ask over there. So as such, there is this entire survey is going to go into litigation, and it's a huge waste of money. And most important is that surveyors are not prepared. Some surveyors are being abused, threatened, because their software is not operating properly. And if there are 4 people inside a house, Shivani, 4 people have to give their Aadhaar numbers, then an OTP is going to be generated and message is going to go to this direct server. See, if you are going to ask some information about me, does it not look fair that whatever information I have given to you, I should get a copy of it? It is elementary common sense, and as an advocate, Shivanna will also agree with me. Means you don't even know what information about me is being sent away over there. So most are saying we don't want to participate in the survey, not because we don't want to do it. It is the evil intention, and it is improperly.
Okay. So on that intention part, can I bring in Mr. Satabish? Because many communities, Vokalingas, Lingayats themselves, they've been very wary of this exercise and they've voiced their concerns. It seems like people feel this is some sort of a personal project of the Chief Minister himself. Even some of his own party men don't agree. And on ground, realities may not be reflected because there is an agenda to the figures that should come out as far as this survey is concerned. Satabish.
How can it be a pet project of the Chief Minister? It is a constitutional mandate. What does Article 15.4 say? What does Article 15.4 say? That every state, there is an affirmative direction given to every state to ensure that you identify the backward classes of each and every society.
So, but why do you need to keep doing this over and over? And your last survey was a failure.
Let me finish. Based on the constitutional mandate or the affirmative direction that is prescribed in the constitution to each state, there is a backward classes commission that has been established. Now, the Backward Classes Commission has been conducting a socio-economic survey since time immemorial. This is not the first survey.
So what is special about this one?
Project of the Honorable Chief Minister.
No, but what is special about this one? All of those surveys then are done without this, without so much public posturing, right? In all of these states, you're talking about them being done for time immemorial. So why is this Karnataka caste survey so special?
I'll tell you.
Why are you tom-tomming it?
History is testament to the fact that each time a survey was conducted, there is opposition from the major communities. They don't want their numbers to be reduced. Now see, there was a Chinnappa Reddy Commission. There was a Professor Ravi Verma Kumar Commission. There was a Havnur Commission. Each time a socio-economic survey is sought to be done, there is opposition.
Okay, I have limited time. Can I just quickly ask Mr. Bhaskar Rao to respond on this? Then I have another question for you. 1 second. Bhaskar Rao, very quickly.
Survey every 10 years.
I want to bring
every 10 years we must conduct it.
Okay, 1 second.
There is no sanctity of data security. They are going to sell this data because we don't even know where this data is going. And with only one cell phone number over there, you can imagine how much of nuisance you are put over there. They want to know how much of gold you have, how much of income tax you are paying, where all you are. These 60 questions, if you have a look at it, you will feel that there are ridiculous questions that are being asked over there, and some bordering total financial privacy as well as privacy of the, there are such personal questions over there. And as regards who is handicapped, this information will be going directly to a lot of people who are waiting like vultures outside. We don't trust.
So on the issue of data security plus Satabish, on the issue of timeline as well, clearly, the timeline that you set for it was absolutely impractical, right? Given how exhaustive this survey is supposed to be.
Better prepared. They should have been much better prepared.
And 1 second. Anybody
need for such a survey over here?
Is it my turn?
About the survey. Okay, true, backwards need to be brought forward. All these things, the noble objectives, nobody denies it. But the way it is being conducted, way it is being rushed around over there, the sanctity of the data, and the way it's being collected.
Data privacy, whether people will actually accept the results. Bhaskar Rao, please let Satabish come in. Data sanctity, whether people will actually accept results, plus the timeline that you set for yourself. Very quickly, Satabish.
See, there's no question of accepting or rejecting the survey or the data that is collected. Insofar as privacy is concerned, The Honorable High Court has clearly stated that you go ahead with the survey, you conduct it however you want to, discretion and prerogative given to the Backward Classes Commission, but keep the data with you. It is always subject to judicial review. The Backward Classes Commission cannot even share the data to the state government. That is the order. So please educate yourself on what the Honorable High Court has said. And let me tell you this, anybody who opposes the survey is working against the interests of the Constitution itself. So don't create this chaos and confusion amongst the people. Please read what the High Court has said. And all these points that he agitated, 60 questions, ridiculous, absolutely makes no sense. It was urged, sir, before the Honorable High Court. And what the High Court say? The High Court said you do it however you want.
Okay. Can I just come in here? At the end, I'll just say now there is a caste census by the union government itself that has been approved. So one question which still hasn't been answered is why does a survey then need to be conducted which data, the data of which is not going to be as foolproof as the caste census itself. But I'll leave it at that. That's a question for another day. I do thank our guests for joining us. Time for a very short break. News and updates continue in just a bit.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Of city buses in Hyderabad. This is a breaking news that's coming in just now. The Telangana government has decided to increase the fare of local buses in Hyderabad from 5 rupees to 10 rupees. This is a hike that ranges across multiple slabs. The revision has triggered a massive political face-off in the state. The BRS and the BJP have come down heavily on Revanth Reddy government, blaming the Congress for the fund crunch, resulting in the government deciding to tax normal users of city buses in Hyderabad.
Congress government, which does not have money to run their promises, which does not even know how to implement their promises, has been failed here, and that is why the entire burden is falling on the people of Telangana and they are increasing the prices here. There is no free bus scheme. Free bus scheme in Telangana is a farce. It is a fake promise by Telangana because from the same family today, they are paying extra amount with the ticket fare which has been doubled, skyrocketing prices, where Congress government is looting by increasing the RTC fares, which is affecting the people of Telangana.
In fact, CNN News 18's Aneri Shah now joins us for more on this. Aneri, for the Telangana government, it will be very difficult to justify this hike at a time when they were speaking about giving free buses to women in the state. You have the city bus prices now being hiked. The BRS says it could be double to what the passengers were paying earlier.
Well, that's right, Harish. What we see is that now the Telangana government, starting from today, has decided that they will be increasing the prices of the city buses, the Hyderabad and Secunderabad city buses, from 5 to 10 rupees. So basically, the ordinary buses and the metro buses fare will be increased. And now this comes in the backdrop. Well, remember, one of the promises of the Telangana government was to implement free bus service for women all across the state, and that is implemented. As you see, women have been using these bus services, but then what we also see is that now the bus fare which has been increased, that will definitely affect the common citizens, because now apart from women, men who are traveling in the buses will have to pay extra. So 5 rupees starting from 3 stages in the ordinary buses and 10 rupees extra from the 4th stage of the travel. So now that is definitely going to hit the common citizens, but then the state government says that this they are doing for the betterment and for better infrastructure of the RTC.
Absolutely, thank you, Aneri, for joining us with all those details. Well, after the Congress government in Karnataka, it's Telangana government in Telangana which is facing a lot of flack for increasing bus ticket prices. Well, that's all we could pack in today's edition of Simply South. Time to look at other news and developments on the other side of the short break.
More updates after a shoe-throwing attempt at the CGI BR Gawai. We are being told that a call on further course of action will be taken. Former Union Minister Smriti Irani once again captured the spotlight, this time not in politics or on-screen drama, but on the fashion runway. We leave you with that. Thanks a lot for watching.
Stay with us, Purnima, because looking at another story that's coming in from Tamil Nadu, a statue of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MGR has been vandalized in Madurai. This has now triggered a political debate. In fact, EPS has now come out and demanded strict action against the culprits who were responsible for vandalizing the statue of MGR in Madurai. Purnima continues to be with us. Purnima, any headway made in the investigation so far on who perhaps could be behind this act of vandalism?
Well, Harish, special teams have been formed to nab the miscreants and the accused at the earliest, but the AIADMK is not happy. They say that only a coward can do such things, and they also demand that the police nab the accused at the earliest. So right now, what police sources tell us is special teams have been formed. They're also monitoring the CCTV footages in and around the areas to identify the miscreants and arrest them at the earliest. But clearly, we'll have to wait and see. But police say that by the end of the day, they will be able to nab the accused. That's what police sources are telling us. But ADMK condemns this move and also urges police to ensure that the culprits are arrested at the earliest.
In fact, stay with us, Purnima, because this tension between the Tamil Nadu government and the governor continues. In fact, R.N. Ravi, the Tamil Nadu governor, has now come out and expressed concerns about the rising atrocities against Dalits in the state. In fact, calling caste-based attacks unacceptable, the Tamil Nadu governor has said that despite Tamil Nadu's high literacy and education, the atrocities continue. He accused political parties of exploiting social division for power and questioned Chief Minister Stalin on what the state is fighting for. The Chief Minister hit back, saying the government's focus is on resisting need, delimitation and language imposition. Meanwhile, the Tamil Nadu government has moved the Supreme Court, challenging Governor's decision to reserve the Kalinga University Bill 2025 for President's consideration instead of granting assent as advised by the State Council of Ministers. The top court is set to hear the plea soon.
In a state with so much of literacy, in a state where great saints since thousands of years have taught us we are all one and the same, manifestation of the one and the same divine, how Swami Ramanujacharya taught us equality, the great Tiruvalluvar. In fact, when I see our literacy rate, which is far more than any other state in this, perhaps far above the national average, and then I find this kind of a problem.
The Tamil Nadu governor once again is lying tooth and nail and is acting as the stooge of the BJP party and as an RSS ideologue. As per data, Tamil Nadu is the most safest place for OBCs, Dalits and scheduled tribes. In fact, 1 in 4 Dalit entrepreneurs in the country live in Tamil Nadu. So which means Tamil Nadu is a place where all castes are equal and where everyone are getting empowered in comparison to the BJP ruled states where the Dalits are being attacked mercilessly.
Going back to Purnima, the governor there mentioning Tiruvalluvar, he is talking about literacy rate and saying that despite all this atrocities against Dalits continue, the DMK now calling him a BJP stooge.
Well, war of words between Governor R.N. Ravi and the DMK government is only escalating on various issues. One, of course, is Governor highlighting that atrocities against the oppressed community is much more in Tamil Nadu compared to other states. DMK hits out on that, says that even in Uttar Pradesh it's even worse compared to Tamil Nadu, and cites data to justify the DMK stance. Says in Tamil Nadu everyone is equal. That's something that DMK says. However, war of words between the government and the governor is only escalating. And the other issue is when Chief Minister had responded to Governor's speech, where Governor said that he sees posters saying Tamil Nadu will fight, and asked what will Tamil Nadu fight for, and says that only if people stay united can the state and the country prosper. This hasn't gone down well with the DMK. The DMK and DMK President and Chief Minister hits out and says that Tamil Nadu will fight against various issues, including abolition of NEET, including standing against Hindi imposition and delimitation exercise. So war of words is only going to escalate with elections round the corner. We can see more such exchange of words between Governor R.N. Ravi and the state government in the coming months as well, Harish.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Of city buses in Hyderabad. This is a breaking news that's coming in just now. The Telangana government has decided
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I am Anand Narsimhan, and we join you with something which is quite explosive. An analyst, someone who's spent his career understanding China and specializes in China studies, has made a few startling observations and drawn a few parallels and conclusions based on circumstantial evidence. Now, in the wake of Operation Sindoor, more and more details are emerging of a possible Chinese hand in the planning, arming and intelligence operations of the terrorists. So, China hand in glove with Pakistan and looking the other way whenever Pakistan foments terror on Bharatiya soil, because Pakistan serves some of its own personal ends and meets some of Chinese requirements or matters that serve specific Chinese interests. Now, Professor Shrikant Kondapalli, a leading Chinese studies or China studies expert at the JNU, has accused China of double standards on the issue of